You are now inside of the 1910 Union Pacific Caboose. This is where story time is held today. When it was actually in use, this is where the crew would come to do their work. The conductor had his desk where he would take care of his paperwork. They had the wood-burning stove that would keep them warm and to cook their food. They had the water that came down through gravity and would go down the pipe down to the ground. And then they had an ice box because it was before running water and electricity, so it was a block of ice.
They had an ice box where they had Coca-Cola and...
It was a little before Coca-Cola, but they would keep, much like a cooler today, it would keep their food cool, not cold necessarily, and as the block of ice would melt, it would go down a little hole in the floor pan to the ground. And then we have the restroom, and they would close the door to the restroom about a mile before they reached town, and then open it up again about a mile after they left town. And I always like to point out for the kids that this is something that they just don't see today. First off, you don't see a caboose anymore. And then you certainly don't see a caboose of this age.
One of the great things when I was a kid growing up, which was about 300 years ago now, but anyway, one of the great things was seeing what the English call goods trains and you call freight trains, bringing along things like milk here.
These are called commissary carts. They were much like an 18-wheeler today. They would bring the goods to the train or bring goods back from the train to town. And as you can see, they would bring milk and they would bring eggs or whatever from the cities, from the country to the cities, and vice versa. So it was a way to transport.
All this is fresh milk right here, right?
Of course. Yeah. Would you like a drink?
And also you have that wonderful railroad sign that is all over the world.
We have what we refer to is our wigwag.
Wigwam?
A wigwag. It is a way, in fact, they still use them in rural areas today. They're a way to just let people know that there's a train coming. Short of the gate that comes down, the wooden gate, these are another way to announce that there's a train coming down the track and to...
We're standing in what, in my British sense of humour, I might refer to as the freight yards, but obviously it isn't the freight yards. Where are we?
We are over at the Lomita Railroad Museum's Annex Park, and this is an area where we have fundraisers every year, and we also rent this space out to people for birthday parties, weddings, social events. So it's a little area where you have exclusive use of this park and a tour of the museum in your package. So it's kind of nice because it's fully gated and it really pretty well shaded, and gives the people a real sense of an intimacy of their event.
And if you're a real railroad buff, this would be a great place to get married.
It would be, because you've got the wonderful backdrop of the oil tanker and the boxcar, and then of course when you turn around, then you've got the beautiful view of the museum.
We're standing by what looks to me like a very impressive model of, what is this?
This is our dream for the future. This is a 10,000 square foot building that we hope to expand onto the property here. This would provide us with a 3,000 square foot gallery space, community center, which would be an auditorium and an educational center, and storage, proper storage for our collection as well as office space. So this is something that we hope to realize in the few years coming up. We are on a capital campaign as we speak, and as you go outside you can see the property that we hope to expand on. So this will just take Mrs. Lewis's dream and just expand on it even further. I
guess this is a really good point to say to you, if people want more information, can you give us your phone number and website?
You bet. They can call us at area code 310-326-6255. Our website is www.lomita-rr.org.
I sort of feel standing here that I'm on one of those presidential whistle-stop tours across America. In any event, next time you are in Lomita, California, come on down to the Lomita Railroad Museum. Until that time, till we meet again, this is John Clayton saying, all aboard!